So here I go, taking off Arizona Trail, sections 22 through 25, Tonto National Forest. So I'm on trail number 47, and still surrounded by cows everywhere. This little baby calf was running with me a second ago, and I was trying to tell it, I was trying to scare it, make it go away, because I'm like, oh shit, its mama's over there just staring at me, thinks I'm gonna kill it. But one of the places I'm considering staying is in about 30 miles, called DCF Ranch, I believe it is. And they actually, for like $5, you can stay there, and they have hot water, and it's an actual working ranch. And then I noticed, oh, there's a little calf. I noticed a lot of these cows actually have DCF or whatever it is, ranch, branded on their ass. So it's funny that they ranch these cattle that are a little over 30 miles away and on the other side of these mountain ranges. Pack's a little heavy. I don't know if you can see my brand new pack I just got from REI because somebody stole my last one. But pack's a little heavy because I got to make it about 25 miles to the first water source. So I'm packing about just shy of 2 gallons on me right now. And once I get into those mountains, that'll be about 25 miles and I'll have a water source. So that was a very, oh, there's my camera. Oh, that was a very rude introduction to the first 2 miles of the trail. Rewarded with some views, but that was a little over 1,000 vertical feet in a little under 2 miles, and it looks like we're not quite to the peak. Probably another 500 to 600 feet, but it's also humid as F, which is unusual for Arizona. And I hope once I get over these peaks there's a breeze, because right now I'm literally dripping and I've only done 2 miles and I've got to carry enough water to make it to about mile 25. If you can see that, but on the ridge line you can see trees sticking up. So it's like this side is all bushes, and whenever I get over there it looks like it's going to be forest, which is pretty cool. So I'm maybe a mile from joining up with the Arizona Trail, still on this number trail, I forget what it's called. But here's a little history. So everything, well, first of all, I'm maybe 80 miles northeast of Phoenix, and up until about 1996, everything to eastern Phoenix area used to look like this. It used to be heavily wooded, and then there was a huge fire that wiped out all the trees. And typically these trees, to get about this height, this shrubbery, it takes about 150 years to grow, and they have been maintained for thousands of years by the Indians, doing controlled burns and getting all the stuff out underneath the forest bed. And then 2 separate fires in 96 from humans, someone that was stranded on the side of the highway, and I believe maybe another person that was stranded on a trail. Both started fires to try to get a helicopter to see them, and 2 fires ended up joining together, creating the largest fire in Arizona history at the time, wiping out all the trees. And in fact, they used to, just east of Phoenix, used to report about 100 bear sightings a year, and they haven't, ever since there's been smoke every summer, they haven't found them within hundreds of miles of Phoenix. But this is really rare, because in the next couple of years, this will probably be wiped out by fire, unfortunately. And way out there, the highway goes in that canyon, and on the other side of the highway was forget, the Pine Fire, something like that, this year, which was like the second or third biggest in Arizona history, and wiped out maybe like 500,000 acres, like half of that forest area, all of Mount Ord, all of that pine area. So that pine area was the closest thing to Phoenix. Now this is probably the closest to Phoenix. And I mean, I guess the good news is Forest Service has less to maintain every year. The bad news is that landscape will never be the same again. Like, there's a couple sections of road through these mountains they haven't even been able to rebuild in 2 to 3 years because they got decimated by fires, and the street keeps getting wiped out by mudslides and whatnot. On top of that, there's a lot of ancient mines. Not ancient, but we're talking, they even have mines dating back to 200 years in this area, because this was heavy gold prospecting mainly. People only found gold down the superstitions in heavy abundance, that is. But a lot of these mines, they get burnt from the fires and then the landslides, and if there's any inkling of an earthquake, obviously the rocks have no structure to sit in the ground and come tumbling down, and mines get covered. There's about 10,000 mines, they estimate, in Arizona that haven't even been discovered, waiting for somebody to fall into. Whew. You can see we're almost, we're about 6,000 feet elevation. So looks like these trees have been decimated from probably snow last year. There's a lot of heavy snow out here. It doesn't look like any fire got out here, unless it's been years and years, because it's pretty heavy shrubbery. But almost to the Arizona Trail, and it should widen out, flatten out, and I'll kick it in gear. There's the trail. I don't know if you can see coming down that I followed, and then Arizona Trail goes around here and snakes up, and we're in the middle climbing this mountain right now. first pair of through hikers, and like always, trade stories of the water reports and whatnot. They just came from one that's like 3 or 4 miles up trail. They said they think it's going, but they haven't been over there in a little while. They didn't stop this time, I guess, but that's on the Barnhart Trail. And then I told them that Bear Springs, which I just came from, it's not flowing, but it's got some pretty cold and fresh tasting water. Other than the bees, there's a ton of bees, but they didn't bother me or anything. And after the water went through the filter, it tasted good. So you'll see. I just happened to run into them in one of the most scenic areas of the entire trail. We're wrapping around Mazatol Peak right now, I believe. I think I'd rather set up camp here in about 30 to 45 minutes while it's still light outside, and then try to make myself pass out and go to sleep, and then I can always wake up as early as possible to try to log some big mileage tomorrow. I think that's much easier than hiking through the night right now and trying to set up camp when I'm tired. I think I'll just have a much easier and quicker process doing it right now. And once I get into this Mazatol range, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some weekenders who are set up with their Jeeps and stuff that drove up higher on the mountain. So I might need the light to pick out a good camping spot. But that should be Mazatol Peak coming up through the trees right here. And it's a beast. That is a freaking beast. Luckily, I think we go to the left of it. But it's almost like stair steps. Like if you had a whole weekend, you could climb that bitch. But, and I'm sure the Indians did. I'm sure there's some good shit up there. Some mines, Indian ruins, all kinds of stuff. So I can actually see a trail right there, which must be the Barnhart Trail, cutting through there. So relaxing here at Chilton Spring on the backside of Mazatol Peak. I'm letting my phone charge while I eat some Oreos. Just taking in the view. It's beautiful. Right now it's just starting to heat up, about 60 degrees or so. That water tank over there is crystal clear. It's almost like someone comes up here and cleans it out, like wipes it out good and everything. It even has a little ramp where if like an animal gets caught in there, it can climb out instead of just sitting in there and dying, I guess. But yeah, it's beautiful up here. About to hike through Mazatol Peak on the Barnhart Trail down to the Barnhart Trailhead where Kristen's gonna pick me up.